into a Poodle. Welcome to Drafts 101. This is Roman Stomper, and after a very long YouTube hiatus, um, I'm back in it. And this channel's going to do... Oh, we got the 101. We got... Oh, no, we didn't. It starts in 58 seconds. We got the 104. Excuse me. Got a little excited there. The 4 is still great. We're getting Chase or Puka. I do believe Gibbs and Robinson, which is not a hot take at all, are the two best assets this year. This is my second draft on Underdog. The first one, I had to kind of learn how to use the platform. I had never used it before. So I tried to record, didn't come out so great, but I did draft from 102, did start with Bijan Robinson, and got a pretty solid squad there. Now that I know what I'm doing with this platform, we're in it. So I am an avid work league guy, redraft player, won both of my work leagues that I was the commissioner of last year. And I'm getting into Bestball this year. And then those of you who may have known me before from Magic Drafts, don't worry, we're still going to do that on this channel as well. It's going to kind of be just drafts all over the place. But, well, it is Bestball season. We will be drafting Bestball. So, gotta imagine we're just going to go Gibbs Robinson here. I really don't have a preference on Chase or Puka. I think my preference would be Chase. I've had him before, and I like having him on my fantasy football team. But Puka's no problem either. And I do like starting with a receiver here in the first round. So we're gonna get Puka, pretty easy. Just snap him off. Yeah, I like starting off with a receiver here because I think that you do tend to get a pretty decent running back right here. Not obviously not a Robinson, not a Gibbs, but so often in these drafts you're going to find that back here, a lot of folks are double tapping running back. Like it's not uncommon to see if you watch these, which if you're watching this, I'm sure you do, just a lot of Cook, Genty, Hampton, Barkley, Chase Brown sneaks into here, and you just see a lot of running backs go in these 8 picks, which is just the way of the world this year. This is just the landscape of fantasy, which is fine. To that end, once you get past kind of these top tier wide receivers, there's in my opinion, this year a lot of the same guy, and they all give you reasons for. I don't want to say hesitancy, but there's a clear reason they're not one of the top assets, which I think the cutoff there pretty much is CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson. Right after that tier, there's a significant tier break after those guys, which is not uncommon. I mean, seven or 8 top tier receivers is pretty good. But in this instance now, right, with Jefferson off the board, I think your next receiver up is what? London. So, I mean, yeah, the ADP says the running backs all go here. So all of that to say, if we get a guy like a Chase Brown or a Derrick Henry, we'll snap him off here at pick 21. But my take this year is that of these round 3 running backs, which even into round 4, of them, Javonte Williams is actually the one you want. Above the Breece Hall of the world, or the Breece Halls of the world, above ETN, who goes in that range. I also am not high on Love. I just think it's pretty obvious that the Cardinals are not going to be the game script this year that allows Love to be used the way you'd want your first running back off the board to be used, right? Like much higher on Hampton. Obviously, Hampton's price dictates. But we see Walker go back here at 13. So Barkley Walker is a pretty interesting start. All right, so as we're coming up on our pick here. I will take Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry gets sniped there. So here I'm not going to reach on Jeremiah Love or Breece Hall. I think I'm just going to take Drake London. Be happy to start off with Puka Nacua, Drake London. This is a great start. And then we'll look to snag a running back right here, whether it be, ETN, Javonte Williams, Kyron Williams, one of those folks. So in redraft, I do play a 2 quarterback style, not a super flex. You start 2 quarterbacks. And my trick is that I always lean into running back. I am a tried and true running back early guy. 3 running backs in the first 4 rounds, 3 running backs in the first 5 rounds, 2 anchor guys at least. And it works pretty well because with a 2 QB start, a lot of folks are going after your premium QBs in the first few rounds. And then, you make sure you get at least one guy in the first five, two guys in the first six, and you should be good if you pick the right ones. Drake May was an exceptional value last year. But anyway, all that to say, I do enjoy this Bestball format. Um, Mostly because I'm a busy guy. So during the year, I don't have to worry about this. Okay, so we're coming up on our pick. Um, Devontae Smith goes there at 27. We're on the clock. Um, Javonte Williams is my guy here, so we're gonna go ahead and get him. I think obviously that's a reach, right? We're gonna take him a little bit higher than his ADP, but I like him better than ETN. I think the only you could take Kyron Williams here, and people say you're nuts for not taking Williams there, but I like Javonte Williams this year. I think he's the right pick. So um, yeah, so love the start. Bet here in this range, we'll be looking for like a Tootin or Judkins if he falls this far. Which that's the other thing that ends up happening, right? Once you have, I mean, we had the three teams in the 10, 11, 12 go double anchor RB. So if there might be great RB value here, but right, if we see Team 10 do it, Team 10 does ETN there, he's going to be so far behind. Oh, wow. And then Josh Allen. Josh Allen, James Stark. I do love the pairing. I am a Buffalo Bills fan. Huge Buffalo Bills fan. So, yeah, that's great. But these folks are going to be behind at wide receiver pretty significantly, right? Like, so their first wide receivers are going to be, well, I just see Higgins and Ted aren't so bad, but I don't want any piece of Garrett Wilson. Buka, okay. But then the tier break here, I mean, right? I know there's a lot of hype on Burden this year, but these guys start to get a little questionable. Until you get back to like Jamison Williams, I think he's a good value where he is. So is Devontae Adams. I know Devontae Adams is gonna almost certainly regress with his touchdowns, but I still think if he's like your second or third wide receiver, you're in pretty good shape. All right, Stadabu goes off at 40. I like that value there. Um, so what's nice is Quishon Judkins and Tootin are both on my list here. We'll probably grab one of our receivers and then on the way back around, look to grab two. Now, I say that, but our team here at three has no running back, so they may double tap running back here. Um, let's see what happens here. But then there's also Swift in that range. There's a bunch of running backs here. Yeah, so I think out of these guys, Loveland is going to be good this year. I think I'm going to take JMO though. We'll see where we go here. We'll see what happens. All right, we're on the clock. Jameson Williams, I would have him over Terry McLaurin. We're going to get one of these running backs. Could also take Loveland, but I think here I'm just going to take the receiver. Now I'm real happy with our 1, 2, 3 of Puka, London, Williams. Running backs, we're going to have Javonte Williams and insert your second guy here, maybe Quishon Judkins. Actually, honestly, with Jacobs where he is right now, and there he goes, I would consider taking Judkins over him. I'm not high on Bucky Irving. DeAndre Swift is fine, but I think DeAndre Swift's ceiling is a little bit lower than a Judkins, and I think his usage is too. I think that's going to be a very pass happy offense this year. Um, and I know I'm not saying it won't be a balanced offense, but it's going to be pass first. And I think with Williams and that receiving core of Adunze, Burden, Loveland, that's what you're just going to see. Now, interestingly enough, if Loveland wraps around here, we'll see. Okay, so we have two running backs off the board, Jacobs and Henderson. Since I have Tootin and Judkins just higher. And when I say me, I just mentally I don't have this written down here. I'm not one of the flock guys. I don't have all my own rankings, but just I have preferences right now as I'm starting to explore this world. And yeah, so almost certainly we're going to get one of those guys here, which is great. I would take Judkins. Um, Apparently, my friend here to the left agrees with me. So you know what? I actually think we're going to go with Montgomery here. Yeah, let's go with Montgomery. I think he could quietly have a top 10 RB. I don't think it's insane. I think that right, quietly have a top 10 RB finish this year, top 12 RB finish this year. And I think his ceiling is probably like top 8 RB finish. And that's kind of like his ceiling. Like he gets to like 8, 9. just finishes right inside the top 10. But for a fifth round value, that's phenomenal. Now, because we only have two running backs through five, and these are very running back hungry drafts. If you watch Bestball, especially on Underdog, they're very running back heavy. We'll probably wind up with five RBs, but I love our wide receiver start with Puka one, London two, Williams three. We've got Williams and Montgomery as our two RBs. We're still in plenty of good territory at the 6-9 or 7-4. I love the QB value in here, so we'll be looking to snap off one of the QBs, and then that'll be a good enough QB1, right? That we can go with a two QB build with. I think that the way these ADPs work right now, two QB builds are where it's at. I really do. I think going with one of the premium QBs and then having another roster spot for another wide receiver or running back is it. So I think you definitely want to take the value here in these drafts. I mean, think about all the QBs that are still on the board, right? Burrows, Daniels, May, Williams, Hurts, Prescott, Herbert. Even Lawrence at the end of last year was phenomenal. And I think there's a pretty big tier right here, but then you're still talking Purdy, Stafford, Bo Nix, Goff, right? Like there's just so much value in the, you know, pick 65 to pick 80 range here. That's one of the other value advantages from drafting at the beginning of the board here. We also can look for a Stafford or Goff stack um, through this range in here because you, the way these tournaments shake out, you want your stacks, right? You're playing for the highest upside. So if you're betting on the receiver to have a big game, you're gonna have to bet on the quarterback to have a big game when it counts in the playoffs, right? If you understand the format, the way the playoffs work here, which if you're watching best ball, I'm sure you do. But right, there's you're gonna be playing against. I think in the Poodle, there's 330 people in week 17, so your team has to go big. It just has to go big. So okay, Williams and Drake Mayoff. Um, okay, Jaden Daniels off. So here, um, you could take a Dak Prescott or Justin Herbert if you wanted to reach on them. There's also a Jalen Hurts. I guess I'm not super huge on Hurts this year, but I guess we take him, right? Oh, and we auto drafted. All right, actually, I'm fine. I'm okay with Marvin Harrison there because I think we're going to get Matthew Stafford or Jameson Williams in the 89 range. So, and I'm not huge on Hurts, so Marvin Harrison's fine. Um, this is a phenomenal wide receiver core here. Puka Nacua, London, Williams. I'm not naturally that high on Harrison, but I certainly have him like even with Makai Lemon. There's a world where he stays healthy. Brissett continues to sling the ball because Brissett slugged the ball at the end of last year, and I think that they're had enough offense that they're going to be in the throw the ball game script the majority of the year, which is why I'm not super high on our buddy Love right here. I just don't think they're a good enough offense, even if he's going to get the value that he can stay on the field. So all right, on the turnaround here, I like Dak Prescott. I like Justin Herbert. Um, again, we're gonna get quarterbacks later on. So, um, JMO. All right, Ramondre Stevenson goes. Alec Pierce, Cortland Sutton are both good. Tony Pollard's actually not bad either. I actually have, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and grab Tony Pollard here. So, uh, people might be low on Pollard, but he actually had. I know that he didn't have a great year last year, but before he got injured, he was fine. The year before that was phenomenal. I mean, I just Tony Pollard is not. Um, we're getting him right at ADP. He's not the worst pick there. I actually kind of like it. So all right, we've got Javante, Montgomery, Pollard as our running backs. Puka, London, Jameson Williams, Marvin Harrison as our wide receivers. I love that. I love this team so far. Yeah, we did pass on the quarterback value because there was a short run right here. And if I don't take Pollard there, I guess I consider Dak Prescott there, but we're not going to get any of his prime targets except for potentially like Ferguson later on. So I'm okay. We obviously will be targeting Goff and we'll be targeting Stafford, but I have to imagine with a majority of these teams having their first quarterback behind us, we should be fine to pick up at least Goff or Stafford coming through here, and then we'll look to maybe pick up a Cam Ward in these later rounds. I also am super high on Should this year. Now we didn't get Olave obviously because we picked up Javante Williams, but Should is good, is really really good, and I think that most people are overlooking him. But when I say good, he's not Josh Allen, he's not Drake May, but he is mobile and he does have a cannon and he's got weapons. So I'm huge on him. He'll be somebody I'll be targeting in my work leagues this year for sure. Should I run the two QB drafts uh, leagues? Okay, triple QB here at the 11th spot. Quadruple QB through 8. This strategy is not a winning strategy. I don't know if our buddy's on autopilot there and is just yeah, that's not a winning strategy. He has his only two wide receivers through 8 rounds are McMillan and Tate, and I believe this is half point PPR, right? Somebody tell me in the comments on this video. I believe these are half point PPR, but that's not a winning strategy there. So we're probably going to get one of our guys here, and then we may look to double tap quarterbacks here, given that, and just be done with it, given that Team 11 has 4 of them, which is, I mean, again, it puts us behind, but oh, Dart's still there. Stafford's still there. Goff. All right, yeah, there's plenty. There's plenty of options. I like Rico Dowdle. I like him a lot, but I think we're just gonna grab one of our quarterbacks here. Um, actually, no. Let's grab Dart and we'll grab Dart and then we'll grab Goff or Stafford. Man, Dowdle was very tempting there. We're gonna say we'll grab Dart. Naked Dart is fine. I think he's got a tremendous amount of rushing upside, and if Neighbors, it's wild. The Neighbors. Well, I guess he's got Daniels there. I just think he's gonna score plenty, and then we'll get Goff or Stafford on the way around, and potentially just be done at QB. So far we have Dart at QB, Javante Williams, David Montgomery, Tony Pollard for running back. Our wide receivers are Puka, Drake London, Jameson, Marvis Harrison, and I like it. I like where we're at now. Yeah, I might have to go get those fancy flock tools, show us our grade and stuff. I'd like to know. I feel pretty good. As I'm looking across the board here, I feel very good. Um, don't mind this team right here. What is this? This is at the 9, the 8 spot. No, the 8 spot here. Yeah. Brown and Buka more. We're on the clock. Let's go ahead. Let's grab Stafford. And then I think we'll probably be done at running back or at quarterback here. Maybe we'll take one more flyer off the board, but this is pretty good. Probably gonna have to do 5 running back and 7 wide receiver, 3 tight end. So if we're right now, yeah, we'll probably have to go 5 running back, 7 wide receiver, 3 tight end, 3 QB. I can't math right now. We'll see. Um, Yeah, and I'm okay taking. I'm not re. Well, it's not that I'm not reaching, but I'm not taking the value on these tight ends. The Warren Crafts, Loveland is arguable. Well, actually, Loveland at 57 is pretty. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. We chose to take David Montgomery there because I was afraid if we passed Montgomery there, we'd be staring at the Pollards of the world, which I am okay with having them as my RB3. Not okay with having them as my RB2. So I guess we did time out on Harrison here because we were thinking Hurts, but I guess maybe I would have had Makai Lemon above Hurts. But if you take Makai Lemon there, you're guaranteed not to get Hurts back, and if you have Lemon, you want Hurts, right? Uh, yeah, totally okay with that. Okay, so Mixon Mayfield off the board. Yeah, totally cool with taking Dart Stafford there. Um, go here. All right. So still great wide receivers on the board. Not super high on Jonathan Brooks. I don't mind Rashad White or Aaron Jones. I actually like Aaron Jones this year. Does Aaron Jones go there? Aaron Jones goes. All right. So he heard me apparently. I do like Aaron Jones this year. Also, one of the things I do typically, if he's not taken, is I just snap Kamani Vidal off in the 18. Um, we saw our friend Amari Hampton get hurt. in the middle of last year. And got to remember McDaniel's over there, and he likes those quick, sort of backs like Vidal. I think there's a world where Vidal turns into a top 10 RB should our friend get hurt. Not that I'm wishing he gets hurt, but should that happen. Okay, here, um, I don't love Krusty Merrick, Jordan Mason. I think, okay, I guess Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is good. And we get sniped on Kyle Pitts. I don't think I want to take Kittle. Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Higgins, Kilo Shakir. I guess we will take Kittle. I don't know when he's coming back. I actually haven't been up with the news on him, but I'm okay with that. And then we're going to jam some late round receivers, and we do need to pick up a couple more RBs. So I would have preferred Pitts over Kittle just because of the concern, but we're gonna draft three tight ends, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's see. We've got Wandale and Romeo Dobbs as the next two wide receivers, followed by Jaden Higgins, followed by Shakur. And I'm a Buffalo Bills guy, but I don't love Shakur in fantasy. He gets a lot of work, but he doesn't get the scores. And that's the thing, right? There's so many, I don't want to say mouths to feed, but Allen runs it in, Cook runs it in. When it's not Cook, sometimes it's Johnson, Kincaid, Knox. There's too many weapons on that team. Shakur has his place and he's a phenomenal receiver, but in fantasy, it doesn't really translate. The work he puts in the field doesn't really translate. So, all right. Jordan Mason, Chris Rodriguez, the two highest rating running backs. Don't really want to reach that far. I guess maybe we'll take Jaden Higgins here. See what our friend to the left in the three spot does. Say Jaden Higgins. Seriously? Ay. All right. I don't said all that crap about Shakir. All right. You know what? I want him over Coker. Diggs isn't signed yet. Yeah, we're taking Shakir. After all of that, all the reasons not to take him. But he is our wide receiver five. So I mean, it's not to say that we need him to be great. Just need a few occasional pops. And there's that bring back with Miami at the end of the season. Although I do not have any Miami players, so no correlation there. But so far, I'm looking at our team: Jackson Dart, Matthew Stafford, Javante Williams, David Montgomery Pollard at RB, Puka, London, Williams, Marvin Harrison, Shakir at wide receiver, and Kittle at tight end. So feeling pretty good about that. For construction wise, we're 2-3-5-1. We're definitely gonna be three tight ends. So probably be three tight ends, seven wide receivers, five running backs. Do we go with a third quarterback? Otherwise, it'll be eight wide receivers. I think with Dart and Stafford, yeah, I think we probably go a third QB, maybe on a flyer at the end. We'll see if we can stack one with one of the tight ends we pick up because we're not gonna get. I guess we could take Penix or Tua to pair with London towards the end, but we could also take a Brissett. Although I'm not sure he's going to start all year long. There's a good chance if he doesn't start off well, they'll throw Carson Beck? See their backup. All right, Malik Willis still in play here. I don't think we need him. A lot of quarterback value in here. Don't love Rashid Shaheed. What do the running backs look like? The running backs look like Mitchell, Marks, Pacheco. The wide receivers look like Rashid, Goodmilla, Naylor, Tucker. Actually, honestly, where are we at here? I think here it made sense to maybe snag another tight end. We do have Dart, so I'm looking at likely. Um, yeah, there's also Woody Marks. Yeah, we'll see. likely off the board to the Bo Nix Telem Williams drafter. All right, cool. So I guess Goddard is okay. I don't love Shaheed. Don't love McMillan. Don't love Jawan Jennings. Um, yeah, just take Goddard. Um, I like Naylor, but we should get him on the turnaround, right? So now our construction, right? We'll probably just grab one more tight end at the end. We need at least two more wide receivers, probably two more running backs, and I think that gives us room for a third quarterback. But our wide receiver points, if the guys are the guys, are there, right? With Puka, London, Williams, Harrison. Okay. Yeah, it's funny. All those wide receivers that I was like, yeah, I don't like any of these guys. Neither does anybody else, right? None of them go off the board. Everybody's taking this sort of soup of Malik Willis, Hunter Henry stuff here because these receivers are just Rashid Shaheed and McMillan and Jawan Jennings. And just don't. Again, I like Naylor. I like Tucker, right? So both of these guys are in play. So we'll see. We'll grab one of them. Naylor or Tucker when it turns around. I also like Jonah Coleman. In fact, Jonah Coleman makes it bad to us, which it looks like he does. Let's go ahead and grab him. And then, wait, how's that possible? Missed my pick. I had it. What are you doing? What are you doing to me? I had the thing selected. Ay, ay, ay. Who did they give us? Shahid? Ah, well, whatever. All good, I suppose. I had him. I mean, we didn't need Jonah Coleman. I just liked him, and we do need a couple more running backs. And I think I like his prospects, especially this deep on the board, right? Although, again, you there's guys in here like I don't think Tyler Algier is a non-starter. I think he may see his similar role in Atlanta, in Arizona. I like Bigsby as a backup too. Obviously, I told you guys I'm just snagging Vidal. I mean, there's some other good running backs back here, but that's right. Oh, Jonah Coleman. There we go. All right, how are we on receiver now? I think we have six, right? Six receivers, so probably one more, at least another tight end, maybe two. Obviously, another tight end, and we need a couple more running backs, which Coleman would have been really good there, but we'll get one of these guys. And then on the turnaround, we might be looking to snag Samson or Tank. I'm okay with those guys as well. Sean Tucker, like back here, all those guys are just fine. They're exactly what you need. They're the guys who are going to score a couple of touchdowns for you. Yeah, so we looked across the rest of the board. Um, our friend here in the 11 with quadruple quarterback is way behind at, honestly, even starting with these two running backs, he's way behind at wide receiver, obviously, and everything else. Uh, Quadruple wide receiver spot at six here. Ended up with Bishal Tuten, Kyle Monungai, and J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, I don't think, I think that's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough sell. All right, we are on the clock here in a few. Again, we still have Algier and Charbonnet, which are fine, um, fine, fine picks. These are fine picks, fine picks. So also Juwan Johnson, which I like. Had we picked up Shug, Bigsby's down here. Sean Tucker, Singleton could be interesting as well, especially because we picked up Pollard. Maybe grab him in one of these later rounds down here. So we need one more tight end. Tyler Algier, give him to me. 165. Ah, Tyler Algier goes there, right? That's annoying. We wanted him there, but that's all right. I actually like Sean Tucker a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and grab him. So we'll grab him, and that gives us now Um, 4 running backs. We definitely need to go to five. So Tank Bigsby, Dylan Sampson are great on the turnaround. I guess Brian Robinson's okay too, but I believe in our boy Bijan Robinson staying healthy. So yeah. As far as QB, who's left? Mendoza, Rogers, Brissett. Brissett could be an interesting flyer for us right at the end, given that we have Marvin Harrison. Darnold off the board yet? I think he is, right? Yeah, he is. Because Shahid, I wouldn't mind him. Okay, tight end soup, Schultz, Johnson, Hawkinson. This is where they go. We only need one more. We're going to take one right at the end. We'll just take one of the ones left. Gunnar Helm goes off at 170. Tank Bigby goes off. We'll grab Dylan Sampson. All right. Now we've got two QBs, five running backs, six wide receivers, and two tight ends. So in our final 3 rounds, we need one more tight end for sure, one more wide receiver, and then a quarterback or a running back, and we or two wide receivers, but definitely one more tight end. I think honestly, with the quarterbacks available right now, we do want one of these. Maybe it's a Rogers, maybe it's a Fernando Mendoza. You don't typically want a naked one of either of those, right? You want them paired up. And I don't believe we do have Brissett, but yeah, you typically want to pair them. But I think with these five running backs, we're good. I think the only misstep potentially in here was Dart. Um, Golf wouldn't have made it back around, but Kyler Murray and Shook are good, and we could have looked to grab Hawkinson or Jawan Jennings later for the stack. That's probably what we should have done. So, all right, we got Branch, Judy, Bernard coming up. They're all gonna go. So in our range, we'll be looking at like Malik Washington, Ted Hurst, Fryermuth. I mean, we could do that. We could take Fryermuth, take a third QB, take a wide receiver, and do a five RB build. But then we're really betting on Javante Williams and David Montgomery to be the guys. But I guess maybe that is the whole point of fantasy football. Is you betting on them to be the guy. So, all right. I think we do need one more receiver. So if we were going to pull such shenanigans where we snap off Aaron Rodgers and take, oh, well, I guess we're not doing that either. Okay. So back to our senses here. We should be on the clock momentarily. Uh, we do need one more receiver. That's not a question. Don't love Calvin Ridley. Don't love Malik Washington. Best we take like a Dontavian Wicks. And then, yeah, I can see that. All right. Yeah, I don't want a Don Mitchell. I don't want Calvin Ridley. Let's take like Dontavian Wicks. Maybe Tank Dell. I love Tank Dell. What else is down here? Guess these are all the same guy. All right, let's just take Wicks. And it auto drafted Ridley. Okay. How did I miss that? Two auto drafts. Well, actually, I mean, whatever. They're just the top rated receiver at the time. It's not the end of the world. I still didn't used to doing this. I thought I guess it just, that 20 seconds goes real fast. And I used it. It's all good. I don't think at this stage it impacts the quality of the team. It is just these guys are all coin flips down here anyway, so not worried about it. We do need one more tight end. Um, take Stowers. Stowers goes. LOL. All right. Society. Let's day 10. All right, so that gets our third tight end in the mix. All right, so I think we want the eighth wide receiver. The other thing is that there's some running backs here that are interesting to me. Um, Ray Davis is one, but all right. So we got Jackson Dart, Matthew Stafford, Javonte Williams, Montgomery, Pollard, Sean Tucker, Dylan Sampson, Puka, London, Jameson Williams, Marvin Harrison, Shakir, Rashid, Ridley, and tight end soup down there. I don't hate it. Don't hate it. I guess Ray Davis maybe or Darnell Mooney. I go with either of these guys. I don't want Washington or Allen. Don't want Jaden Blue. Yeah. All right. I guess we'll just go with Darnell Mooney. Cue him up. Cue up Ray Davis. I don't see any like. There's nobody down here that's like, yes, that's a great value. They're just all like, any of these guys to play. Like whatever. I don't need another tight end. Like none of this stuff is appealing. Joe Coleman, Bell. My Bills. Why not? Um, yeah, one of those guys should be good, right? One of them will come off the board. All right, so we ended up with a great wide receiving core. Our running backs are a little sus. Running back core is a little sus, but like the QBs, like the tight ends, um, yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, probably would really like to get Mooney here right at the end because it's just nice little stat with Jackson Dart. Like, see how this goes. Did select a German Shepherd here because I have a German Shepherd. And so all these guys have these fun badges. Maybe we'll get there someday. I don't know the number or what color represents what number. It's black and white. Is this the badass one? Is this the? I don't know. All right. We get Darnell Mooney, and that is the draft. All right. So completed. So I got one entry. Let's try that again. All right. So It's my exposure so far. I've done 2 of these. Cool. Um, Still back here. Poodle. Pin position 2. I should have 2 entries to these. Active, completed. Right? Don't I have 2? I've done 2 of these. So why is it showing 1? I do not know. Oh, there we go. 2. Um, yeah. All right, cool. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and stay tuned. We're going to be doing these the rest of the summer until football starts. And I appreciate y'all checking it out. If you'd like to subscribe, more draft content to come. Thanks a lot.